Why are so many Malaysians underinsured? Is it just simply it's too expensive?
For a lot of them, it is.
All right.
Because Bank Negara had a survey a couple of years back, and the conclusion was affordability was one of the key issues. And the Edge survey, the one done with iMoney, is also has the same conclusion. Also because a lot of the products are now concentrated in urban cities. 60% of the agency force, insurance agency force, is in KL, Penang, and Johor.
Oh, these people who go around and ask you whether you want like insurance or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So a lot of the the not insured are probably outside these cities, and Bank Negara is looking at other channels to actually get insurance to a bigger crowd. Yeah.
The thing about Bank Negara and the survey was that they want greater transparency now. Insurance products have gotten a lot more complicated, whether you want them investment linked, not investment linked. You thought the principle is easy, right? I pay so that in case I need it in the future, that's what happens. But so now Bank Negara is also calling foul and saying like you cannot do all these complicated things. We want to make it more straightforward. So how are they making it more straightforward?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about products being more complicated.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Bank Negara wants them to do is to have a lot of things in simple language. And
Not in an iTunes service agreement
no,
style.
if you notice, some of the newer policies, the policies are getting thicker and thicker because there are a lot of exemptions.
Terms and conditions and blah blah blah
and
blah.
all that, and which as a consumer, as the buyer, the person being insured, you should really know what's in there. For instance, whether you get payment for disability in one arm or is it a pair of arms. So you could actually hurt one of your hands.
And it's not the one that's insured or something silly like that.
Or something like that. Or the policy will say that you need to hurt both of your arms or one arm and a leg. Then only you get the full compensation.
That's nuts. That's really nuts.
It's there are policies like that. So you really need to know what's in there. And
all right, it makes me really want to go back and revisit my
we
health
should.
insurance policy.
Yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, it is. Especially the older policies.
Yeah.
Probably the ones bought in the 90s.
Okay.
Some of it might not be updated. You really need to check if it's only insured up to 65, which is not enough, or 80.
Okay, but what is Bank Negara doing to make sure that this is all more in layman's language? Are they actually telling all insurance companies?
There is a guideline.
There is a guideline.
There is a guideline.
Is there penalizations for not following this guideline?
I think it's still early days.
Okay.
I think it's more telling them, and then not so much penalizing them yet.
But at least people now should be aware of their rights, right? If you feel your insurer is pulling the rug out under you, you can actually report it, maybe?
Yes, you can. And there is actually at the risk of sounding like a Bank Negara representative, there is actually an app that you can contact
all right.
all your insurers or your banks with.
Okay.
And if you cannot get your problem resolved, there is a channel with Bank Negara.
All right.
Yeah.
But why don't we just do it like a blanket? So we did talk about, there's one thing, universal sort of health insurance. So this will inevitably get everybody, even the rural folk, right, up until that 75% level. We don't have it, do we? We don't have like a universal policy where it says everybody should be insured. We don't have that.
Yes, we don't have it yet,
Yeah.
but to be fair, we do have a subsidized public healthcare system.
Yeah, better than the Americans.
Yes. So that actually is a safety net, but as more and more people go to these public hospitals, the cost is it gets more strained.
Doctors leave for private practices.
Correct, and it gets a lot more expensive for the government to subsidize it as well. So it helps to actually have a pooled system and get everyone in, because at the end of the day, we are living longer, and the chances of
getting
all
sicker.
of us, yeah,
getting
all of us
sicker are
getting
higher.
sick when we are older is much higher. Yeah.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.